right, what's going on, everyone? Another Hicksey Nana podcast. Yeah, it's been a little bit. Dave and I have been very, very busy. Today's guest, we got Eric Miner. So Eric's ahead of the people.
Hey, everyone, what's going on?
Yeah, like we said, like I mentioned earlier, man, we've been absolutely grinding away with the new semester starting. So Dave, what's been going on, bro? Tell me, like I haven't seen you in forever.
Kind of the same thing. School. I got laid off my my cushy job, but
Wow.
guess what? I applied. I went today to Oakdale Theater. You know what that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I applied there, and then they were like, "Yeah, we'll give a call in a couple of days, and you start working there." I'll be parking cars, kind of the same thing I was doing before, but like I said, just working, school, good old stuff.
So Eric, tell us. I know you are probably one of the busiest people. This was a very exclusive podcast to get because I know you're working the full-time job. You're doing school. So tell us about what's been going on lately.
Wow. Well, it's crazy because going to school part-time now is a big jump. When I used to go full-time, I never thought. I was like, wow, getting a good job offer like I did at Sikorsky, it's just mind-blowing. And then you have to change your whole schedule going from a full-time student taking 6 classes to jump down, taking part-time and doing maybe 2 or 3 classes. Some people I know do 4 or 5. I don't know how they do that, working 8 hours a day. But I do know people at Sikorsky that do it. It's just it's a big juggle, really. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to balance off because going into like last semester for me, I was working probably about 30 plus hours a week. So I was putting in some pretty good time and then juggling that along with my full-time classes. And that was a pain in the butt for me. So I think I've been doing a pretty good job. I like for Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have classes both in the morning and the afternoon. So Tuesdays and Thursdays completely off for work. Mondays and Wednesdays I come in. Today's are my longest days. Mondays and Wednesdays are my longest days. Wake up 6 in the morning. I'm at work for 7. I'm out of there by 1. Classes at 1:20. But then I'm out of class by typically about 10 minutes to 5. Yeah. So I'm home by 5:15, 5:30. So
yeah, that's
Dave. What about you?
My schedule is not that. I mean, because now I'm not working anymore. It's not that bad. But like I said before, because I usually worked most of the time during I tend to work a lot during the summer times, and then maybe during the winter break, I would work that. But my schedule has not really been that crazy. Well, when I get this job, I'll probably do like a weekend thing so I can make some money on the side. But I mean, my question to you, Eric, how do you juggle that? Because I mean, you're working you're doing school part time, but
right.
You're working like a full time guy. How you juggling that? Because that just sounds even you part time school, that just sounds extreme to me, man.
Well, do you know what the crazy thing is? Is that the thing I'll tie into that in a second. The one thing I hate the most about that is that I have going to a tech school and then having having friends like you guys. It's like you're trying to juggle all these relationships, and it's just like I said, it's mind blowing because you're like, oh, I want to hang out with these people this day. I want to hang out with this person that day, and then by the time you know it, it's like holy crap, it's Friday, and you're like, I can't hang out because I have class. So my class on Fridays is 5:30 to 8:30, which sucks this semester because
that's a rough one.
And it's brutal because I never thought I'd be doing like a class on Friday, but I figure a lot of my friends are also off at college. You guys are local, thankfully, and but I'm just trying to make do with what I can. Trying to hang out with you guys, other people. So tying in a workout schedule, a work schedule, as well as going to school. It's a juggle, but you dedicate so much time to each subject, rather I should say, and you just make it work. You want something, you'll make it work.
Yeah, Eric. One thing I always have seen over the past, dude, you're always in great shape. So how do you what is your workout routine?
Thanks, man. Well, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays are strength days. I do Tuesday and Thursdays are conditioning days, respectively. For that, I have Saturday and Sunday off. So those are my 2 rest days. I'm a firm believer of doing abs every day, just because it increases your rest tone of them, being that they're postural muscles. I couldn't be more straightforward than that. I really eliminated. I'm sure Dave can agree with me on this in the next section. I kind of eliminated the word diet from my vocabulary.
Because it's
It's because at some point it's gonna end. And you think about it, it's why would you want to have a diet? Because you're gonna go back to eating
like shit again.
Shit food later. So you might as well just say, well, I'm gonna eat healthy. And eating healthy isn't all that bad. It's people just think, okay, I'm just gonna eat chicken, broccoli, and rice. It's not just strictly that. You're looking at the smaller picture.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's the thing. Because for me, I personally, I do that. I do eat the chickens. I do eat the broccoli. I do eat the rice. But like I said, I do that most of the time. And once in a while, like once a week, maybe like a Saturday, I kind of self-indulge in my like I have a pizza with the boys. Like if we go out, I have something. Yeah, because you can't just. Even people with the strictest diets of all, you have to slip once in a while. You're a human being. That's just how we are. We're not perfect. We can't just stick to the same thing over. It gets boring after a while. It gets tedious.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I remember reading. I forget I feel bad. I don't know the source, but I know I definitely saw it somewhere that most people that had strict diets they considered it cheating because they were to have a cupcake or a slice of pizza, and it's I think it's in our nature just to have what's around us at the time, I guess, because you're out, you don't want to be unfortunately some people criticize each other for trying to eat healthy, but
it makes no sense,
we're all trying to just be the best we can, I guess.
Honestly, it's not really like speaking of like working out, it's not even that hard losing weight and whatnot, because honestly all you have to do is just stick to your diet has to be somewhat decent. Don't just eat like pizza every breakfast, lunch, supper. Just once in a while throw some salad in there. Once in a while throw some broccoli or something in there. It really isn't that hard. People are like, oh, it's so much stress. It's all that work. Just honestly, most of it is diet. People don't do that. They work all the time, but if we don't diet, like for example, I was a video by Jeff Cavalier. Abs are made in the kitchen. All right. That's right. So that's what you got to do. You just gotta eat decent, Eat your junk food, but then also eat your your healthy foods. Like mix them, combine them. Probably preferably the healthy ones more than the other ones, but
I agree. Yeah.
So Dave, I'm trying to get rock hard abs for the summer. All right, I'm trying to get some ladies. What food should I eat so I can get these rock hard abs? Because you did mention abs are made in the kitchen.
Yes, sir.
Well, usually for me, like a typical diet, diet is the bad word now. Diet is the new C word. Anyways, a typical thing I'll eat is I usually get sweet potatoes. Those are very good, very very good for you. It's carbohydrates and it's like low carbs but good carbs because again another thing with carbohydrates, if you work out like you and I, you need more of that because it gives you energy. You can't just eat protein all the time. You need the carbohydrates for energy. Protein is good for like building muscle, but if you don't have the energy, you can't really do much. Yeah, and
I don't want to cut you off, but
no.
A good analogy to that is, would you run your car without gasoline? You need the energy if you're going to be training. You need that energy.
Yeah. Okay.
So
those
definitely.
People who can afford to burn the carbs should eat the carbs. Because I So, anyways, back to your thing though. Sweet potato, definitely one of my favorite foods. Rice, preferably brown rice. I mean, regular rice is good, but brown rice. I don't know if you've ever had that before.
I have.
Okay. Yeah. So brown rice definitely. Definitely obviously your broccolis, your spinach. That's for vegetables, and then
spinach a low key pretty good vegetable. You can have it raw, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Would you rather have it raw or would you rather have it cooked?
Doesn't really matter to me. I just whatever I feel like that day. That's just really it. But
dude, spinach. People really hate on spinach, but if you do it right. If you cook it right and you put the right amount of salt, right amount of butter on it, not that bad.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, again, speaking about foods like that, one thing I will not have, personally, I despise, or two things actually. I can't stand Brussels sprouts. I can't. It tastes disgusting to me.
I think they're very bland.
Yeah, and they have this really strong taste in your mouth. I'm not a big fan. And kale is practically death. I can't do it. I tried it before and I almost puked. It was just not fun.
All right, guys, I have an idea. This just came in my head. Why don't we do a 2-month, not the end of this month. So let's start in March. Let's try to get the ultimate ab diet. We take before and after pictures. See what we do. Dave?
I mean, I have apps ready, so I guess that'll be a program for you, I guess, then.
How about you, Eric? You in?
I'm in.
I'm still in, but just, yeah.
So how about we do we go for the ab diet. So what does that mean? So we got to stick with our spinach, that kind of stuff. What other stuff?
Spinach,
What stuff do we have to avoid?
Eric, we could go back and forth with each other right now, because you also good with stuff.
I think just truly unnecessary eating. It couldn't be more straightforward. You know, you shouldn't be having Oreos and Chips Ahoy and like overly sugared cereals in the morning. You know, it's just not what you're meant to be filling your body with.
Yeah.
So here's my idea. So we'll set the presidents probably some other time, and then by June, let's set the goal by June. So we're going from March into maybe the end of June. All right. So we'll have this diet set by the end of July. We'll have a podcast. We'll have the podcast now, and then we'll have another podcast beginning of July. We'll book one there.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the results. Dave?
That sounds like a pretty good deal to me. So, yeah. But again, we kind of veered off a little bit off the foods you should be having for healthy. But oatmeal.
Yeah.
You know, oatmeal. That's another. First of all, it's filling. First of all, so for me nowadays, what I do is I have a big breakfast. I skip lunch and then I have medium supper. So I a lot of oatmeal and banana. That's my breakfast. I don't eat lunch because I'm full. And then supper time comes around, I'll just have the usual stuff I have. Yeah. Another thing too, eggs. Eggs are another good one. I prefer really scrambled. I like them scrambled because fried is a little too much oil. But what else do I usually?
You want to talk about? I know I'm going to kind of hop off this, but Eric, we want to talk about some good food. That place we went to. God. Talk about that pizza place you sent me to. Where was it?
It was called Ladano's Pizza. Yeah, Ladano's Pizza in Meriden, actually. For those of you who don't know, in Naugatuck.
Right, place used to be in Naugatuck.
Right, it used to be inside the McDonald's GameStop Plaza, and it was right in the center called Mendano's, but they had to change their name, moving out of there, and they moved back to where they were from in Meriden. And Hicks and I went there. Was it about 3-4 weeks ago?
Yeah, about then.
And we went to go get the Capone pizza, and it's a white pizza with here we are going outside of the nutrition factor.
Yeah. But this is good stuff. This is good stuff.
We pretty much fasted all day now. But you know, I live a little. So we had it was a large white pizza, right? And it had chicken, ricotta cheese, artichokes, and eggplant. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, I think it was easily $20 or something.
Yeah, it was like a $20 pizza. It was, but the result. I mean, the pizza itself.
It was just
It's really it's a very interesting pizza. I remember I took my first bite, and Eric kind of looked at me. He's like, "Do you like it?" And I was like, "I like it, but I just have never had a pizza like that
that's
before."
That's right.
It was just an interesting taste.
Yeah, and I it was just unbelievable because when we went there, this is actually my second time there back in Meriden, and if it wasn't the same taste, it was definitely better because it was just unreal how good the pizza was. And I wish I could have gone back there, consistently, but I'm happy I don't live close. That way I'm not having pizza every night.
I was going to ask you, is by different taste, do you mean like it doesn't taste like conventional pizza or just taste different or?
Well,
number one, it was a white pie. I think that was the number one thing that kind of threw it off, right? We typically have like chicken bacon ranch. Yeah. That's typically our go-to. But this pizza, like Eric said, it's just a weird combination of ingredients. Eggplant, ricotta cheese, chicken. What's the other one I'm forgetting?
And artichokes.
Artichokes. It's completely out there.
It was unbelievable.
But here's the funniest thing, right?
Yes.
So this place is not very big. I was expecting it maybe to be like maybe the size of Antonio's or Pizza Palace or something along those lines. This place it's about, I'd probably say 80% kitchen and maybe 10% like sitting area. So there was only like one table. So Eric and I decide, all right, let's go. We'll eat it in the car. So we'll eat it in the back. So we got the pizza. We're chowing down, and all of a sudden, you hear a little knock there on the window. And all of a sudden, Eric and I, because Meriden, some areas of Meriden are not very great. So this guy, that's another thing about the restaurant. It was like a duplex, so there was also had apartments there as well. So this guy who lives in one of the apartments knocks on the thing, and we're like, oh damn, like what's going on? We're like, yo, what's going on? And he's just like, and he was just like, hey man, I just wanted to let you know. It's like I parked right behind you. It's like no worries. It's like I'm just letting you. And Eric's like, yeah. He's like, what do you got there, man? What are you guys eating? And I was like. We're like, we got the capone. He's like, you want to try it? You want a slice? He's like, oh yeah, I want a slice. So he goes, so we give him a slice. He's like, all right, guys, have a good one. So he goes inside. All right, Eric, you want to finish the story?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I go to close the window, and we're, Matt and I are chowing down on this pizza, and just, nobody's talking because, we're just, it's so good.
Yeah.
And we're like, all right. And then Matt looks behind my seat, and he's like, he's coming back. So I'm actually kind of freaking out now because I actually don't know what's gonna happen. I didn't know if it was somebody else, and but I roll on the window again, and it was the same guy, and he said, just in this, I quote, he said, "Man, that's some good pizza. Where'd you get that from?" And we were like, "Yeah, it's right here. It's a Capone." And he's like, "Yeah, that was great. I gotta get me some."
Yeah, exactly. That's what he says. He's like, "Bro, I'm gonna buy myself a pizza right now."
Yeah, and it was just ironic because we're like, what are the chances of him coming back and mentioning the pizza? And that's why I mentioned to Matt, like minutes before he came back out. I was like, man, imagine he comes back and tries to rob us for our pizza. And he came back. He came back. And that guy was just awesome. Matt and I were laughing the whole ride home.
Yeah, that was probably one of the best days on winter break, in my opinion. It was just like I had the day off of work, so I had nothing to do. Went over there, just tried on some good pizza. Dave?
Yeah.
I gotta try it now because you guys are making it sound like a very fantastic place. So
yeah, for those that want to know,
after the diet, or maybe right before the diet, because the diet doesn't start till March.
Okay.
I'm gonna cancel out now because now we're saying it's a diet.
Not a diet.
No,
it's not a diet. It's a grind to having abs for the summer, right, Dave?
Yeah. Or a way of life, or
whatever.
Just a regular look at it.
All right, so if you guys don't want to call it a diet, just be like, I'm just gonna jump in on it.
Well, personally, because even like I was watching one of Jeff Kevler's videos, anybody can have abs, right? And there's this whole big scheme going on with like, oh, genetics are a big role, right? Some guys are naturally broader.
Yeah.
They have bigger bones naturally. Some people have, longer muscles naturally. Okay, all that comes into play. But I think the most important thing is getting at least to show abs rather than just having a flat, stomach. And a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, I just want to have abs." I think, if you can at least see your abs, some people may have a 2-pack, some people have 4, some may even have a 6, and some people may even have an 8, like Jesse.
Yeah.
But that's the biggest thing is self acknowledgement, and then, competing with yourself, and that's what you're really looking for.
Yeah.
And most people, I think, they overlook that.
Everyone is like, oh, it's hard, unattainable. Honestly, like I said, you just have to manage your eating habits. Like I've said this to many people. You don't have to deprive yourself of life's because life is short.
Right.
You got to live a little, like you said. You gotta enjoy yourself once in a while. You can't just I'm gonna be on this diet all the time. You gotta enjoy your life.
Yeah.
But you gotta also be able to know when to. Okay, this is too much now. We gotta cut it off now and eat healthy.
That's right.
So you have to be balance is the key to pretty much looking healthy and getting in shape. That's pretty much it. Being able to know when to turn the sugar off and then be like, oh, let's go into eating healthy mode.
I think it's gonna sound funny. I think one of my biggest goals is probably, it's gonna sound funny. I think I want to be like one of those grandfathers that's able to walk, looks fit, and I don't want to be in a wheelchair when I'm 70 or 80 years old. I just want to be able to walk around.
I plan on letting myself go. I'm gonna keep working out to I want to say 70, and then I'll let myself, if I live that long, I'll let myself go do it after 70. But I plan on keeping a good figure for a pretty long time. Yeah. That's why I've developed these habits. Because once you, for example, me personally, when I get home, if I don't work out for a day, I just don't feel right. Something is in the back of my head. It's you got to do it, even if I'm very, very tired.
Yeah, I guess it's a great outlet for those who want to stay dedicated.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Dude, I can't wait for this diet. Not diet.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
this new lifestyle.
This new vocabulary.
the new vocabulary.
Yeah.
All right, Eric. So, any of you guys watched the State of the Union address yesterday? Anyone?
I caught a little bit of it. Unfortunately, I recorded it, but I had to go to bed early
Yeah,
to
me
wake
too.
up
Yeah, me
5:30.
too.
But
All right. So we all missed the State of the Union address. That's all right.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? What do you think about the wall, Eric? Think
Well-
they're gonna get it done?
well, the big thing is it's like we already have a wall, whether those want to acknowledge it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Even years ago, even back in 2012, we were voting for a wall. We needed some type of border, right? Because unfortunately, we do have, bad sheep that come in with these good groups of people that actually want to come to our country and work, have lives with their families, and the biggest thing is you have one bad sheep that ruins it for a large majority of these immigrants that want to come in and become legal immigrants and citizens of our country. And maybe there's some way, if not a wall, I'd like to hear out how we can have some type of legal process where these guys, illegal immigrants, aren't trying to cross over to our country.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I don't mind if you come in, but
No, not at all.
you have to do it legally. Dave,
You know?
you've gone through the process. What was it like?
Well, it's a funny story. I was supposed to come here when I was 6 years old, and then I kept getting delayed for some odd reason. I'd go in the embassy, they'd be like, come next week. Next week comes, come 2 months from now. 2 months from now comes, 3 years from now. I'm like, dude, listen, it is frustrating. I mean, I wish there was a better way of like fixing that, but I mean, I feel like they were trying to like maybe run through. I mean, I was sick, so I don't think they would have to like really go through my background because I didn't do anything really bad. I was 6 years old. I'm not like
Yeah, right.
I'm not out there like selling drugs and whatnot. Well, like, listen, for me, in my opinion, the whole wall thing, the whole like border thing, as you said before, as you guys said, listen, some countries are just shitholes. Just be honest with that. We have to say that some countries are just shitholes. I mean, it sucks, but that's how life is, But some people want to come here to actually work, make money, live a good life, live the American dream, pretty much,
Yeah.
But like you said, there are also bad people out there who want to abuse the system, whether it be like coming in, selling drugs, whether it be just taking advantage of welfare and all that stuff, all the good stuff we have to offer, and just doing nothing for it. Like I wish like I said, I wish there was a better way to solve the problem, but I feel like a wall is like a good step into like trying to solve this problem, because I mean it's a problem you can't really fix per se 100%, but you could take steps to like avoid it somewhat, reduce the amount of illegals we have here. Because listen, we have to be able to help ourselves before we help other people. That's just how I see it.
Yeah,
But
and we don't want to look at it like that. Sometimes with ISIS coming in, we don't truly know. I can't look at a group of people and say which are good and which are bad. Just looking at the way, their face looks, or the way of their, just the way they walk. Their color, their skin. I cannot determine that. I can only be determined by their actions. And when you have a bad person on the other side, not in our country, but on the other side of the world, that's hiding those actions, trying to come in,
But do you guys think the wall will prevent that?
I do think that.
Well, I just want to throw a counter argument out there. If per se Trump makes this massive wall right on the border of Mexico, aren't they just going to make bigger ladders, Dave?
Well, bigger ladders and maybe tunnels, maybe. But like I said, like I was saying before, there's not really a true way of solving this problem. Because listen, if man makes something, man can somehow be able to overcome it. That's just how I see it. But like I said, the border is like a good step into somewhat preventing, the illegals. Not just like the Mexican people. It's like, because it would show the other countries that, hey, listen, we don't want to take your people, undocumented people. You have to do this legally, or just to send a good message out there. In my opinion, that's just what it seems like.
It seems like in today's political climate, the wall, one of the more controversial issues. I feel like it's more. I don't feel like it's the wall itself that's making people mad. I feel like it's more of it's just the physical aspect, the physical separation. U.S. Mexico. We're not letting people just go in here. I feel like it's more that than it is the people, like the physical wall itself.
Right. It looks to divide us as a nation.
Exactly.
from the whole world itself, is what you're saying.
I also feel like it's also the man, because man behind the wall, the man who's trying to get the wall going, Donald Trump. Because before, other presidents are like, they acknowledge we definitely need a barrier of some sort to get the, put it on the borderlines. But like as soon as Trump got in and was like, hey, let's do that, let's do the same thing everyone else was doing, Democratic or Republican, everyone is like, no. And I'm like, that does not make any sense to me, because before you were on board with the same thing, but now that's a different person. That's not a person in your party, in your in your political stance. It's like, I don't want it anymore. It's kind of hypocritical in my opinion, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting discussion to have, in my opinion. Eric, do you think Trump will get another 4 years? You think he'll get reelected? It seems impossible if you watch, a certain news broadcasts. You know what I mean? Because he was not a light guy going into the election.
No.
And I feel like it's only gotten worse.
Right. Well, that's the question, because if we look and if we were to rewind time, right, 3, 4, maybe even 5 years ago, and see where we were. Okay, we were at a point in time where government was a little more concealed, I should say.
Sure.
At the time, and now it seems like Donald Trump is trying to expose the inside of the government without exposing. What is it? What am I trying to say?
Too much intelligence.
Well, yeah, without exposing
with Twitter, with the social
Right.
media platform he has, which is
how much how many arguments are going on within the White House that we don't see.
Mm-hmm.
And now that we have a Republican, not a full Republican, as we know, because he once was Democrat, now he's trying to see what he can do to expose the inside of the government to help get control back with the people. And that's how I think he got the votes in the first place.
I feel like that was his number one initiative, drain the swamp.
And
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
And he wasn't, everybody knew he wasn't a seasoned politician, because first off, somebody said he was a politician. That's not true, because what office has he ever held?
No, he's
None.
a businessman.
He's a businessman. Okay, and that should be established by now. But getting back to the question, I don't know if I like to think that he actually will. I think he will.
You think he'll get another 4 years? I think another thing is the Democrats have to get someone better in there. They can't have another Hillary Clinton situation. And by the list of names I've been looking at lately, Elizabeth Warren is going to run for president. And then Bernie wants to try a second time. The Democrats don't like Bernie.
Well, he just said last night at the State of the Union that America will never be a socialist country.
Of course. The people in-house hate Bernie Sanders because he's an outside. So he'll never get those super delegates to vote for him. And, I mean, Elizabeth Warren, give me a break, Dave.
Pocahontas, like, come on, claiming that she's something she's not really. I mean, we all have this. If you look, you're probably the same percentage of Indian as she is, but she's like, oh, I'm super. That makes no sense to me. But anyways, back to what you were saying though. Yeah, you're right. The liberals do need Hillary Clinton. Is not she's so controversial that like no one wants her in the house. I mean, like
having one Clinton in the White House was enough with his whole all his allegations he had. Just adding another Clinton in the White House. I mean, it just didn't make sense, Dave.
No,
yeah, and to be honest with you, I don't want to hear the fact that any of us are sexist, because I would be completely 110% all for a women president.
Oh yeah,
but same. With as many allegations now with Hillary Clinton, and everybody's seen it online on the news that deleting emails, confidential, okay, and it's really not even questionable. When you have something like that, that should raise a red flag, because if anybody else were to do that, who knows what would happen?
Yeah, and I'm like I said, I'm really glad she's not, because I mean, with her controversial background, it would be. Do you think things are bad now, and it would probably be much worse? We'd probably be like in World War III right now. We'd probably not be sitting here in a podcast. We'd probably be in the war, like shooting people, like
And
But like just I don't know. Like I said, I'm not opposed to like a woman. I'm not like a sexist. I'm like,
no,
women need to be. No, I'm not one of those guys.
Right.
If you have the right candidate who's gonna do the right things, then listen. I don't care what gender, male or female.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
honestly, I think if Hillary Clinton became the first female president, it would almost be like a hit on women. You know what I mean? Like if looking back in history and you're looking back at who's the first woman president and it's Hillary Clinton with all her list of allegations and all her problems she had, I feel like that'd be, I feel like women would look back at that in history and be like, wow, that was the first woman president, really? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You need someone who's genuine and who's like, I'm actually not psycho or whatever she is, and someone who's actually gonna do good for the country, not divide the country even more than it already is. Like she was already like claiming, it's because of the men, that's why I lost the election. So I'm like, that knowledge question mark, where is that? Like,
right. And the thing is, another good point to bring up about Hillary, it's kind of confusing how I hear people say, oh, she has experience, we should try and keep her in. Well, the problem with that is anybody, whether they worked 40, 50 years, kudos to them for working 50 years at a company. It's you can have all the experience you want, but guess what? That one day, right? Say you're in an aircraft company and you have confidential information on blueprints. Let's just say you send that to the wrong person on an email, right? Intentionally, accidentally. Why are you not double checking? You know what can be happen? You're gonna get reprimanded, and it doesn't matter if you have all the experience. That's going to be an automatic red flag, and that's what we're dealing with Hillary. And anybody can talk to me about that, but if you come up with a better analogy, let me know.
I mean, and Trump was phenomenal at digging this stuff up. It seemed like every other week it was another allegation on Hillary, and Hillary did the same thing on him.
And his numbers went up.
And his numbers went up as a result. And they were just going back and forth. Every allegation was coming out.
Never seen that happen.
It was well, it's a new age where, I mean, you can look up anyone's. I mean, let's take Kyler Murray, for example, the quarterback. He won the Heisman Trophy for
Right.
Texas A&M, not for Texas A&M, but for Oklahoma.
Yep.
And he won the Heisman, and not even the next day, that night, people were looking up on his Twitter page and finding, I believe it was maybe sexist or anti-gay stuff that he had written back when he was like 12 years old. And people are able to use that now as fuel against the person, like, oh, this person's a terrible person, yada, 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 yada.
So yeah, that's again. I know we're kind of veering off here really quick, but that's another thing too. People, if let's say you reach a high status, like that guy, the quarterback who just won the Heisman Trophy thing, you reach some form of high status. People are just gonna go back to your feeds again when you were not even mature, when nothing made sense to you, like your 6-year-old tweets or whatever. They're gonna be like, oh, look at this kid, look at this guy. He said something that was just. He said something now, and that was like 30 years ago, and they're trying to bring it up now. I'm like,
it's amazing what you can find on
And
the internet, dude.
I think that he was 12 years old when he said that. Now he's 20, 22 years old. He had to have at some point changed his view. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You say a lot of stupid stuff when you're young. You know what I mean?
No.
I mean, think about all the stupid stuff you said, Eric, when you were a kid.
I can't remember.
Well, that's a good thing.
Sometimes, I mean, there are some things that I can remember, but most of it was just on the fly. I mean, there's so many hours in a day, and I can't remember every single thing that I might have said, but I know for a fact.
Right. I think we all eventually said some stupid stuff. Dave?
Probably me more than all of you guys. But yeah, I just like I said, you're a kid, you're young, you're not mature, your brain hasn't fully formed yet.
Yeah.
So what you said back then, I mean, like anywhere from like 20 like downwards, I feel like 20 even 21 to be above, I think you should be a little bit smarter. But like anywhere from like 20 like downwards, I mean, it shouldn't count against you because you were not like physically your brain has not matured yet for you to comprehend the situation. So like it should not be used against you to defame you or something. Like the whole Kevin Hart thing. That's another thing. Yeah, because I mean, like, listen, a tweet from how many years ago? Obviously, the guy's gotten older. He's like, oh wait, okay, I've matured. That was dumb of me, but
he's a Democrat. He's on their team.
Yeah, and then what they do, they're like, even you're killing them, they're actually trying to destroy the people on your own team. That makes no sense to me. You think they'll be more united, but like they're actually trying to like defame and discredit like people on your own like side. I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, But yeah, Kevin Hart, is a real good actor, and I think the whole basis of this thing is that we have to realize, everyone is going to have different political views, and it's like at the end of the day, you have to look at them as a person, and we have to come together some way and settle, at the table, have a rational, reasonable discussion how we can settle issues, and be able to look at the person after we walk outside the door, just go home, have a good day. I mean, because if you're constantly involved in that, you're just surrounded by negativity and stress.
You're gonna kill yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
At that point, you're gonna go crazy.
Everybody knows it.
Again, wrapping that back around to the whole Trump thing, and I know we deviated pretty hardcore. Like if he's gonna come into power again, but in my opinion, if he keeps doing the same things he's doing, if he gets the wall up, that's gonna be huge for him for the upcoming election, because that was his big promise, and so if he get that going, that he has a ticket to his to the next term. So if you get that going and just keep doing what he's doing, it doesn't do anything like really really dumb. Just I'm obviously I do like his savage tweets to a point, but like he shouldn't. It's sometimes they come up a little petty. But listen, that's just the guy.
I mean, he's a 70-year-old man. He grew up in a completely different era. I think people should understand that. That's why he talks the way he does. And he's a man of business. His entire life he probably got his way, right? And that's all he wants, and that's what he's going to continue to do. I think economically he's a very smart man. He knows what he's doing. And the economy, the stats, show, we're the economy's doing well. We're getting more and more businesses that come back to the United States. So I think economically, businessly, he's a very smart man. But socially, he's way out there. He's a little bit everywhere.
Yeah. Just to mention the fact, of course he had a different, frame of mind, a different life that we all know of. Yeah, sure. I wish I had a small loan of $1 million too. But at the same point, let's look at what he did do with that money, okay? Because he could have said, all right, see you later. I'm done.
Deuces.
Nobody's going to know who I am. But look where he is now. So I like to see the people that say, okay, he had a small loan of $1 million. Well, for him and his family, of course, that's probably small. For us, maybe not. But, what did they do with that money? Okay?
That's really what matters.
Did he go off, and gamble it? I don't know. But he sure as hell made more. So, I just want to see where the idea is coming from that he didn't achieve anything by using that small loan of $1 million.
Yeah, that's
quotes.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I gotta be honest with you. When he first said that, when I first heard the
was
small
laughing.
loan of $1 million, I was like, if I had a small loan of $1 million, I could probably do the same thing. But then I sat down and I was like, knowing me, I wouldn't spend it all, but I'd probably just save it up and just like live off it little by little.
Yeah, buy a house, buy a car.
Yeah, just the basic necessities, and then call it a life. But like I said, I do commend him taking that small. I think everyone could get a loan and just, but he took that loan and made it into an empire. He has billions upon billions. The guy's stupidly rich. Like, it's just.
Yeah.
But that's.
And if my brother's listening, I would also buy with that $1 million of unlimited Chipotle card, so
Boom.
I can go there.
Boom.
And Pancheros as well.
Pancheros, yeah, there you go.
Dude, Pancheros. I love that place so much. Honestly, we should get sponsored by them.
Yeah,
Pancheros.
well, yeah. That's it's a little. We gotta be more consistent with our videos. I know it's been, like you said, 2 weeks since our last podcast, but we're back. Eric, hate to cut you short, bro, but I gotta go to a hockey game in a little bit.
Oh, nice. Have fun.
So, Eric, any final words? Anything else you want to say?
No, there's just a lot to take away from this. Just I guess be true to yourself. Always try to juggle everything you can, and with work, school, everybody's dealing with the same thing. You don't know what other people are dealing with, so try to be considerate and at least think of that before you say anything, I guess. And Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, guys. Eric, and I can't wait for this not diet, this new lifestyle we're gonna start in March.
I'm gonna try.
Right?
I'm gonna try.
So those details, we'll release it soon. We're gonna have another podcast beginning of July, and we're gonna see the results. Dave, any final words out of you?
I was gonna ask you any shout outs or anything you want to shout out, or any person or whatever you want to shout out really quick.
Yeah, shout out to my brother Everett. True legend. He's helped me a lot through fitness.
Fortnite legend, right?
Yeah,
Isn't he
he's
on
a Fortnite legend now. Yeah, the gold miner. He's literally a legend. And but he's a truly remarkable man. Just for any quotes or admirations to me, I guess, as a brother, just look towards him. And that's it.
All right, man. Shout out Everett. All right, guys. Thanks for listening to another podcast. More soon to come. We'll keep you updated. If you have any ideas about the podcast, you want to join the podcast, just hit us up. You know where we are. We're on Instagram, Snapchat, or you can, maybe throw a comment down here on YouTube, whatever you want. So again, thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications so you know when every single Hicksey Nana podcast comes out. That's the word I was looking for. All right, guys, take it easy. Peace.
Peace.